And here, this oil seal was leaking real bad, so we're cleaning this up. Hi, Bubby. And then we'll clean it up real good, brake cleaner. We don't want it to catch fire later on down the road. Be full of oil.
Are you going to pull your races?
No, I'm leaving it all.
You're going to use the same old bearings or what?
Yeah.
Okay.
There's no metal in them.
That's fine. I was just curious. I have no idea what your plan is.
I'm just gonna put a new seal here, and I can't find that big O-ring. Nobody's got the right one. They're all too big. So I'm kind of shit out of luck on that. I'll just put that open back in and then put a little bit of silicone around it.
Is it messed up?
No, but I think it's just kind of flat. But I think we'll be all right. No, there's grease off. These get so hot, it might ignite. Damn it. Look.
Look, how do I punch you?
I don't think this is on there.
That looks like it's probably the original seal. It's gonna be replaced now. So I have one seal left. We're gonna go to the press and press it in. Come on. The lighting over here sucks. That's what I got to work with, so. I started it all the way around, come back over here to the table, and I'll finish tapping it in. That's all she wrote. So we pulled the bearing out, cleaned it up, made sure there's no metal particles because the differential lost its gear, remember? Made sure there's no metal particles, there was nothing in it. So we pulled the seal out, repacked that bearing, we added a little bit of grease to it, just in case we can't get no oil to that for some reason later on. Now put a glove back on, and then we'll double check the other bearing, pack that one a little bit. So here's those O-rings, right?
Right.
Here's the one you just brought me, too big. So I'll just have to reuse this one. I'll put silicone on it. It'll work. And there's got extra O-rings.
So you just got the wrong size?
No, I don't think they had the right size. They just sent me whatever they had. But the problem is these hubs, they make like 10 different styles. And for these companies to have all of everything for each style, I don't understand why they didn't make them all same.
The same. Right. It's called money, honey.
I guess, and most racers have it. So what I'm doing here, I gotta put some new studs, a couple of them. That one's missing. AOS put a couple new studs in it for me, but they're a little bent and they welded them from the backside. So I was told to just put a nut on them and just kind of tap them one way or the other to make sure they all fit. So that's what I'm gonna do now. I just put this stud in right here and I'm gonna check it with this other third member that's empty to make sure it fits properly. All right, so I just put this gasket here. I'm hoping maybe that'll give me a little more space on this backing part right here, because it looks like it's been hitting, the gear's been hitting at one time or another. I don't know when that was, but I'm hoping I can space it out just enough to get away from that. I don't know. So I did put a little bit of silicone behind the gasket. I'm gonna trim around this. And then up here too, just in case I need that room for the gear. We are good to go there. Now I'll be able to go clean up my third member real quick. Here's my third member. We're gonna spray it a little bit, make sure it's got a clean surface around it. I think most people just use silicone on this gasket, but I'm gonna put this gasket to try to bring it away from that housing just a hair. See what happens with this gear. Now I'm gonna do some more silicone here, just a little bit, not a lot. Cool little fun fact, I got a new neighbor. He's from Capitan, I think. He just bought a lake house over here in TRC. And he said back in the day he used to sponsor Kyle Sager in his sprint car. Kind of cool. So at least you know he won't be complaining about our racing or our starting up motors or anything like that. Good there. I don't want to do too much. I think I straightened out these bolt holes good enough to tap this third member on. I bought some new lock nuts for my 9-inch. If I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it right. Make sure it goes down all the way around. Just put them down with a wrench, because you tend to strip those knurls out. I've seen before. Some of these bolts are welded in place on the inside, some of them aren't. So we're just gonna wrench it by as much as we can. I know it takes a little longer, but it's okay. I think this bolt's a little loose, so hopefully we're able to tighten this one down all the way. Definitely easier now than it is trying to lift it up into the truck. And then I'll put this other hub on there later. We'll move it into the garage. We'll move this car out. We'll bring the truck in this next week, and then I'll put the axles in it afterwards. These longer studs are the ones I'm worried about not being real tight in there. So those are the ones I want to do with the wrench more than the shorter ones are tight. I just put those in the studs. I didn't have enough to go all the way around, so I'm just gonna have to deal with it. AOS put some of these bolts in here and they tack welded them in, but I don't know, they feel kind of not welded very well, so I'm not gonna push on them too hard because I don't want to break the weld on the inside. So I'll just take my time. We're definitely gonna make sure they're all tight with a wrench. That one is still a little bit loose. This bottom one was a little bit loose. That's all she wrote. I don't understand why that's getting a little tight right there. Hopefully there's nothing wrong with it. There it goes. Stay tuned, we're going to put this other hub on later. We gotta go to Cruces today to take my son to his mother.
We're gonna swap these wheels out for this wheel so we can pull this car out and get ready for the next car. Is this ready to go in?
No, I gotta do the other side.
Oh, yeah.
I just gotta do the seal.
Look how observant I'm not.
But I didn't want to put no axles in it until I get it in here because it makes it harder to push and turn. And
Oh yeah. Makes sense. Like I said, I'm here. What do you need me to do?
we're done with it on the other side.
I think, yeah, on the other side of the back. One of those is different size than the others. One of these lugs is not like the other.
Well, that must be that one. One's different.
That's the safety lug. It's twice the size of the others. Heck, now it's got more than we raced on.
It's the chrome arrow rim.
Want to just pull the cherry picker back and we'll pick up the front end?
You can do that if you want. Can pull all the tools off the car?
You can do that if you want. Right there. There you go. All I'm saying is I kind of like that rake, dude. Straight out of, what's it called? Rat Pink. Now that you fully paid it off,
And I can use it.
you didn't want to use it till you fully paid it off?
Yeah, that's a good part.
That makes sense.
You sure you don't want to drive it?
Oh, the race car? No, I'm good. I'm good. Heck, now you got as many vehicles here as Scott does.
I know.
You want to tie up that drive line or no? It's just spinning on that cross member. It's the yoke spinning on it, that's why it sounds like it's like ratcheting.
And that's how you do it. So we got the differential together. And we even showed our team spirit.
Okay, if you can go down, I'll start picking this end up so we can scoot it over.
Ouch.
You ready? I don't know if you want it to be in the dirt. Ow, ow, got my foot. Okay. Now I'm good. How's that? Apparently we should have swept first.
Thanks, G.
Oh, no worries.
that one went in. Bolts up, that bolts in, springs in. Now we'll go to the other side. This really isn't bad at all. I got a bit of work at 10:30. It's about 9:20 now. To me, it feels like that thing is too tight in there. And they might have done that for a reason. I don't know. But you would think that it should be freely. Get this other one down. This might even be too. That bolt's too short to go there. I guess I'll use this other one for on top, like I did the last one. Well, I need to go get a hammer, I guess. Feels like there's a little hiccup in there. We'll get the hammer real quick. Like just beat them in and call it good. Put the spring in and bring it down. I'm gonna go put them on the jack. The downfall about having one person and the jack's on the other side. So we're gonna go with the jack a little more. Looks like I'm off over here about a 1/4 inch. Which once I get the bolts in, it'll probably fit right up. I probably shouldn't have tightened the other side yet. That's what happened. I should have left it alone. But now that I tightened it, it doesn't have no flex to it. So I might have to go over there and loosen that up. Hopefully not. Loosening it might be the best option. Fuck's sakes. It's all bolted up.
Dad!
Now we're gonna move it in the shop.
Dad!
And I'll finish putting the brakes and everything else on and put the motor in it
Dad!
to have it ready for
Dad! Dad!
the parade in 2 weeks. I did have a hard time getting one of the bolts in on that differential, but I finally got it. Now it's time to bring it in the garage.